And you are ready for today as well. Yes, comment in me in the chat box. Beautiful. How many of you? I know a lot of you came in through invitations from your friends, family. You all had been so nice and invited many of you. So how many of you here are how many of you here have joined in for the very first time? Comment in one in the chat box if this is your first session here with me. Your first session here with me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So welcome, welcome to Shivratri Special Sacred Art with Soul Grow. For those of you who are new, my name is Niranjan, and this is my partner Sanchari. We are coaches who help people in becoming their best versions through art, and we are super excited to help you invoke Shiva Shakti and and make this Shivaratri one unforgettable experience. Now, before we start today's session, I want all of you to be fully present here with me, and I want you all to see that this what we're doing here is not just an art class. What we are doing is an art sadhana. So I want you to take this class, not just passively. Just some of you might be just cooking, running around. If you have been rushed, I want you to all take this time, settle down, and treat this like a sacred practice. So what do we do? We are going to be invocating. We are going to be invocating through our five senses. Okay. First, visual. If you if you have not worn anything, I want you all to go find something red, a red dupatta, maybe a red scarf, something if you can. I want you to quickly go find it. Okay, this sets a very powerful intention and tone. Second, I am going to be lighting an agarbatti here. I'm going to be lighting an agarbatti here. Okay, because this is for the scent. Fan, can you turn on? So lit an agarbatti here. Now this has become a proper temple. Placing an agarbatti here. Beautiful. Now, then, okay, that makes up for the smell. I want you all to hold something. Today you're going to be drawing with your pencil. I hope you all have your instruments ready, your paper, your pen, your book. I hope you have your instruments ready. I want you all to just kind of like hold it in your hand and just kind of like feel the sensory touch. Awaken your senses, right? Don't your fingers and hands feel a little alive? Hearing, we already did. Right? Hearing, we already did. We were hearing chants. And for taste, I want you all to just mindfully take a sip of water. If you don't have it yet, keep a water bottle by your side. You don't want to be dehydrated while we are drawing. We're going to be sitting here for the next 1.5 hours, and you will not be able to concentrate if you're dehydrated. So, what's taking a mindful sip? Take a slow sip, allow it to pass through you, allow the water to pass through you. That's drinking mindfully. All right, beautiful. So, now that we are ready, okay, now that we are ready, see. Yesterday, for many of you, I know that joined in today, and this is your very first class. Yesterday, we had an amazing session with Sanchari where we learnt about the different powers and qualities of Shiva. We learnt about Mahadev. We learnt about Rudrabhav. We learnt about different practices, Kriya, Tapasya, and how all of this connects to what we're doing. If you missed the class and if you're looking for the recording, you will be able to find the recording. You don't have to ask us where the recording is every time in the group. You will be able to find it in the group description. Okay, so just go to group description. You'll be able to find the link where all the recordings are shared. You'll be able to find it on the leftmost section in the link in the description. Is that clear? Yes, give me C, comment in C in the chat box if this is clear. Now, no more confusions or doubts about recording or the class. Right after today's session, also the recording you'll be able to find. It will be shared there. Yeah, perfect. Now, now, before we start today's session, I want to ask you all one. I want to start with a very important question. I want you all to read this and tell me how much of this can you relate with. You can comment in with the numbers that you can relate with. For example, you have a lot of ideas. Okay, many of you here I know are very creative people. You have such amazing, brilliant ideas. You have ideas about the book you want to write. You have ideas about the podcast you want to do, the channel you want to create. You have that great, amazing business idea. You have these ideas about these all these amazing projects you want to do, these artworks you want to create, but you struggle with implementation. Yes. Second, energy, motivation, unpredictable. Third, you are a creative person. So read through this and I want you to tell me how much of this can you relate. If you can relate with one and two, type in one, two. If you relate with all five, type in all five. Yes. Waiting for your response. All of you, I want you to comment in. I want you to stay active in the comments. I can see only few people, Aditi, Neelam, Archana are the ones who are typically active in the comments. I want all of you here, even those who are typically inactive, to be active and fully present in today. Yes, 2 3 5 3 5 5. What is the most common? I can see 5 is the most common. You know, you can do so much more, right? You can do so much more, but there is unfulfilled potential. And that is exactly why we are doing this today. Because I know that you all are brilliant people with so much potential and you want so much more out of life. Yet there is so much that is unfulfilled inside you. Today, by drawing the Ardhanari, this is what we are going to invoke. We are going to invoke we are going to invoke all your energies, your Shiva and Shakti energies, so that you can live to your fullest potential. Now, I'm going to be telling you a little about Ardhanari. I'm going to be telling little about Shiva, Shakti, about duality. Okay, while you are going to be listening, okay, I'm going to be telling you one tip, which is going to increase your attention and memory by 11 times. Would you like to hear that? Yes, one tip. So this is what I want you to do. On your paper, take a this, and then I want you to write. I want you to draw straight lines. I want you to draw straight lines as I'm going to be telling you. I'll show you how to draw. Okay. I want you to make these straight lines as you do it. So as you keep listening, don't count the lines. As you keep listening, I want you can just keep drawing these straight lines on this. These straight parallel lines. You don't have to take notes on anything that I'm saying until we start the drawing. Just I want you to keep listening and drawing these lines along. Yeah, drawing these lines along and listening. So just keep drawing these straight parallel lines. And once this row is finished, you can start with the second row. Okay. And I want you to keep listening as I'm saying. Yes, all of you, I want all of you do this right now. Keep drawing lines and listen while you draw. You see, we have all been practicing Shivratri. We've all heard about Shivratri a lot of times. And it's a practice that's been going on for thousands of years. But have you wondered why Shivratri? What is the spiritual and the scientific significance of Shivratri? You see, our ancient yogis were very, very, very smart. And probably because there was no smartphones or screens to look at, they were very observant people. They observed the nature and human life form. And they realized that on this day of Shivaratri, a certain cosmic alignment keeps on happening. Yes, very good, Himanshi. Keep drawing, keep writing along as you listen. They noticed a they noticed a certain alignment. Okay, a certain alignment of the stars, and because of that, it the effect on its body, we become more receptive, we become more attentive, and this they called Shivaratri, the night of Shiva, because this is the night you can invoke the qualities of Shiva: stillness, focus, attention. This is the night when you can embody all those qualities. Now, modern science, okay, according to modern science, Shivaratri is typically observed through fasting. Shivaratri is observed through sleeping less or staying up all night, fasting, and through meditation, through chanting, through prayers, and modern science. Okay, many people think that this is just an act of devotion or you want to get blessings from God. But modern science proves us that when you break your pattern, all these practices are designed such that we can become truly we can become truly attentive and focused. Now, if you see, look at this. When we change, okay, when we change our pattern, when let's say sleep less, suddenly it breaks the automatic pattern that we have been following, and this makes us more receptive, this makes us more attentive. When you are, when you are doing chanting, when you're drawing, when you're doing things with repetition, and this makes you much much more calm, and this raises your creativity. When you are when you're sitting night with focus, sitting upright, this does a subtle in a very subtle way, this rewires your brain, so there's the neuroplasticity that is happening. And because of all of this practice, okay, because of all of this practice, you invoke this power of Shiva and Shakti, or in other words, you invoke this dual energy of stillness, of the Shiva qualities of stillness, of focus, and creativity. We are drawing Ardhanari. Now, Ardhanari is typically shown as a half male, half female. And what Ardhanari typically means is that this is a complete being, a half male, half female. Now, this does not show, there is a lot of modern interpretation about gender politics. That is not what this is. What this shows is that seemingly opposite forces are not opposite, they are complementary. If you look at nature, everything exists in duality. Okay, day, night, breathing in, breathing out, male, female, everything exists in duality. There's no such thing as a singular energy. And all throughout our life, in everything that we do, this becomes present. If, okay, just as much, let's say you are someone, how many of you here are complete learners, like you learn a lot, like you like learning. Now, if you're someone who learns a lot but does not implement, okay, you remain stuck. Learning is a quality of Shiva. Learning is an act that requires attention, focus, and structure, but that when it is not balanced with creative output, you remain stuck. On the other hand, there are some people who are very chaotic. They jump from one idea into another. Maybe some of you are like that. You're jumping from one idea into another, and but yet at the end of everything, you're more lost than ever. There is no clear vision, there is no clarity. So, this is again a disbalance. This is because there is too much Shakti and not enough Shiva. Okay, we need to balance. We all must learn to balance this dual energy within us. Comment in AG if you agree with me that we all need more balance in our life. Okay. And this is a truth that has been observed, and this is a truth that has been understood not just in India but across many cultures, across many ages. And that is why this is represented. Okay, that is why, just like how we have represented Ardhanari, many other cultures across the world have represented this in many different ways. Like, for example, Chinese have the symbol, have this Taoist symbol of yin and yang. Then there is the symbol of occult cultures use sun and moon. Okay, and then science talks about left brain and right brain. What does science say? The left brain is logical, the right brain is creative. You need to have balance between you need to have left brain and right brain. You need to activate both of this. All of this, okay, all these cultures, all these things, everything is leading to one fundamental truth, that dual energies are complementary and we must be able to activate all of it. By the way, all of you, while you are listening, I hope you all have been drawing. Are you all able to, were you all able to listen much more closely while you are drawing and listening? Yes, the things that I'm saying makes much is coming. Your memory retention is much more sharper, and you're thinking very less. Your mind is not drifting across different places. You're paying attention better. Yes, this is the magic. This is a magic. What you did is a practice called Zen lines. I'll be telling you more about Zen lines and what we can do with it in the coming in as we go in the coming sessions. Okay. Yes, wonderful, amazing. So, like I said, we need to balance this dual energy. Now, when this is balanced, literally what happens is magic happens. When you are able to balance focus with creativity, literally magic happens. This is from 2025. If you see, we have been able to, me and Sanchari, in the last year, we have been able to do all this. We have been able to meet our mentors, Jay Shetty, Vishain, this is Ankur Variku. We have been able to take care of our health, our mental, emotional health, as well as physical health. This is when we did Devil Circuit, which is literally it is called Asia's toughest race. Okay, it involves a lot of obstacles like climbing, jumping. So we were able to do that. We were able to build and grow a business following our passion. This is when we met Gurudev, Sri Ravi Shankar, for Art of Living. This is when we did our meetup for a community. This is when we did our Soul Fest. And we were able to build this amazing community that has transformed so many lives in helping turn their dreams into reality. And all of this was possible because we are able to channelize this dual energy and bring it. Comment in Om if you also want this in your life. Comment in OM if you want this. Amazing. Beautiful. Love it. So we have already done our invocation. Okay. And now next, we are moving on to our main art practice. We are going to draw, but we are not just going to treat it like a casual hobby. We are going to treat this like an act of devotion. You are drawing not just to learn a drawing, you are drawing so that you can embody Shiva and Shakti in you. Okay, we are going to be learning about proportion, we're going to be learning about it, the drawing, but I want you, as you draw, reflect upon everything that I told you so far. Reflect on those qualities that you want to build. And I want you to meditate. Think of those qualities while we are making the drawing. Agreed? Yes. So now, moving to our today's topic. which is about, we are going to be learning about human proportion. You see, human proportion is a very, very, very interesting thing. We have all tried drawing, many of us as children, we've tried drawing. We've seen cartoons, right? How many of you tried drawing a person here and there? Maybe you saw from cartoons, maybe you try to draw someone you idolize, maybe you try to draw yourself, maybe you try to do a caricature. How many of you tried drawing a person or a face before? Wanted to comment to me in the chat box. Now, many times you would have seen some, like short legs. Sometimes you'll see the person is looking stout. Sometimes you will see the arms are a little off, arms are looking like jelly. You'll see that you wanted to draw Bahubali, but they ended up looking like, I don't know, a dwarf. So, you, okay, so it's a very, very, very interesting topic. Now, proportions, you see, we have this amazing vast knowledge of how our human body is, and most of it is credited to this one person. Can you all identify what this drawing is here? You must have seen this somewhere. Somewhere you must have seen this. Yes, this person, you must have seen this somewhere. Yeah, what is, can you name the drawing? No, it's not Michelangelo. Okay, the name of the drawing is Vitruvian Man. It is by Leonardo. Okay, it is credited to this person, the same person who made the Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci. I'm sure all of you must have seen Mona Lisa and heard of Leonardo da Vinci. So he is credited for discovering and making famous human proportions. But here's a twist. We knew it years ago. This is a inscription, okay, a drawing that has gone unnoticed. It has been laid for thousands of years in a temple, okay, in Purana. It is shown, and this is called as Huntsman. According to Da Vinci, an entire human body is equivalent to 112 finger height, and that is true. Indians already identified it. And if you see, have you all noticed the beautiful sculptures that we have created on temples? They're magnificent, right? Very much proportionate, such beautiful defined. And they were made thousands of years ago, even before the Greek, Greek classical architecture came. So Indians knew about all of this. In fact, we had very developed systems about proportions. So Indian gods are shown in many, many different proportions. For example, we call it talas. Talas means the measurement of the hand. So gods like if you see the face of the our face, it is roughly proportionate to this. See, you stretch your finger and you see our face from the chin to head is roughly proportional to the middle to the thumb finger. You can try it out. So this has been used as a measurement, and it is shown that many different, each different god and entity had a different talas. Like gods are shown as Gandharvas are shown with nine talas. Then Ganesha was shown as five talas. So all of this was very much inscribed and there, and all of these measurements and structures existed long before, long before even this term proportion was called. If you see, even a temple, the way a temple is designed, it is designed according to perfect proportions. A temple is said to be an embodiment of the god, and each part of the temple, okay, is representing a chakra. Super interesting. Yes, yes. Comment in Ryan if you think this is super interesting.
All
Comment in wow.
stations are designed like Shivalingas.
Yes, every single, okay, every single part has an associating is connected. So today, as we learn, okay, as we learn the proportion, you're not just learning something that is random. You're learning a very scientific, clear method about drawing a perfect human body, and this is nothing less than a worship. We are going to be drawing this, making this image of Ardhanari here, and I'll be showing the reference image also as we draw. So don't worry about the reference image. Now, I want to introduce to you the proportion system that we are going to be, the way that we're going to be drawing this. You see here, this diagram might look very complex to you, okay? But don't worry, I'm going to be explaining this and I'm going to be, we are going to be drawing this. We are basically going to be taking the head, okay, the head face as one unit of measurement, and we are going to be drawing the entire body in relationship with the head. Our human body is 7.5 to 8 times that of the head measurement. So we are going to be taking that and we are going to be drawing it. By the end of this class, you will not just be able to make this drawing, you will be able to make any drawing, any person, you'll be able to make yourself, okay, your husband, your parents, you'll be able to make any god that you want, okay, you can make your favorite movie stars, anyone you want using this. Yes, excited, excited. Give me an X in the chat box to show that you are excited for today. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. So this is our, okay, this is our uh, body. Here I'll first explain to you that I'll first show you roughly how proportions needs to be, how proportions needs to be seen and understood. So if you see this thing, the head, okay, I can take the head as one basic unit. If you see the head, the rest of the body, the rest of the body is built in relationship to the head. Now here are some few fundamental basics that I want you to understand. After that, I'll be giving you a manual, a proportion manual, and you'll be able to, and then it'll all be very, very clear. If you consider the head height, okay, the height of the head as h, your upper body from below the neck to your navel is 2 times that of the head. After the class, you can go back and then you can go back and you can see again. Okay, you can measure yourself and you can see. Now, interestingly enough, okay, interestingly enough, our legs, okay, from where our legs start, okay, from where our legs start, it is 4 times that of the head. Our legs, okay, is 4 times that of the head, or it is 2 times that of the upper body. Clear? Yes, this much understood. Comment and see if this is clear. Basic. This is the basic. Okay. Now you must be wondering, what about neck? Okay. You must be wondering, what about neck? What about here? Yes, I know. I know. I know. Okay. It's very simple. Once you have the face and the upper body, this area, okay, below the navel, okay, from where your legs actually start, this is called the midsection. This is the midsection area, okay, where below our Manipuraka chakra. This midsection, this again is 1 time that of the head. Now, if you see, yes, if you see here, I have this. Now, if you see here, I have the head, I have the upper body, I have the midsection, I have the lower body here. We are, okay, and the neck, okay, and the neck, you can consider it almost 1/4 of the head. It's like a small area we are going to be showing. So let's take a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. And below that, we can add the feet and everything that's going to come in here. So If you see, when we put this proportion in place, our entire body is going to look very much proportionate. All right. So now are you ready to now draw this along with me? Do you feel confident enough to follow this? Yes. If I'll tell you once again, head. We are taking the head as the basic unit of measurement. Okay. Let's call this head. Then we have the upper body. Upper body I'm considering below the collarbone. Okay. Till the nabi, navel. Two times head. The neck, almost one fourth of the head. One fourth to one third of the head. Below that comes the midsection. Then the legs, which is four times that of the head. Overall, we see we are left with an eight head proportion. Okay. Now this person, now when we draw like this is the person will look very tall, which is ideal for a god. Shorter people can be shown as, like, if you were to draw a dwarf, you will show smaller legs. If you were to show children, you will show smaller legs. The proportionate system that we are going to be using, okay, is ideal for representing gods and very tall, beautiful beings. So let's go. Let's start doing this right now. So first thing is I'm going to be drawing a line along the center of the page. Now, why a line along the center? Because we want our drawing to be placed firmly along the center. Correct? We don't want the drawing to go slanting towards the left, towards the right. So what I'm basically doing is I'm making a line along the center. See this central line. This is where the figure is going to start. You need to use a scale for this. All you need is a don't need a scale. All you need is a pencil, a light pencil. Okay. Now, next step, I'm just going to slightly zoom out so you can see the entire page. Okay. On the top, I want you to mark a little, leave a little gap here. This becomes a boundary. Leave a little gap here on the top and on the bottom. This becomes the edge of the drawing. Top and the bottom. This becomes the edge of the drawing. Now, pay very, very close attention. If you see below the head, I have the crown, right? I have to draw the crown and the bun. This is also roughly the height of the head. Yes or no? If this is the height of the head, this here is almost again times height of the head. Correct? So I don't want to directly start drawing the head here. You want to leave some gap there. Okay. You want to leave a little bit of gap there. Okay. And then you want to leave, similarly, you want to leave like a little bit of gap at the bottom as well, just to be safe. And from here, I need to start by drawing the head. I need to start drawing the head. Okay. So now, this part that I have, the biggest challenge for me is making this proportion correct. So how are we going to do it? Okay. I want you to draw a line along the center of this. So I want you to draw, I'll tell you once again, so that all of you, if anybody of you are stuck, you can clearly do again. Step one, I want you to draw a line along the center. This becomes a central line. Second, okay, leave a little gap on the top and on the bottom because you want to leave a little bit of margin. Third, okay, very important. I want you to draw, okay, I told you about leaving a little gap here. That anyways, it will naturally come as we do it. I want you to draw a line along the center. Find the center of this and draw a line. How do you find the center? You can use the pencil like this. You can pinch and you can find the center like this. Okay. You can use the pencil or you can use a scale also. But this is the way that I like to measure, where I basically hold the pencil like this. I pinch where this line comes and then I do it. Yes, so far all we have done is two steps, one line here, one line across. Done. I want you to comment in S in the chat box if you have done this, because follow along with me. If you miss a step here, it's going to be difficult. If you follow with me, it's going to be a cakewalk. If you drift along, it'll be difficult to follow. So stay with me. If you have any doubt, please let me know, because I'll be giving you poses. Now, this line that I have drawn along the center, this is where my midsection is. So here's what I want you to draw. I want you to draw, okay, I want you to draw one oval head here. Lightly with pencil, I want you to draw a head here. One egg shape, not a circle, okay? Lot of people make the mistake of drawing a circle, not a circle. I want you to draw an egg shape. Notice, now remember, this height of the head, it matters a lot. You make it too big. Remember what I said earlier? The entire body, okay? The entire body is you'll have to add these 8 heads here. So if you're making this head very large, you will obviously not be able to add it, correct? So you want to draw a head, okay, that is not too small that you'll be able to, like add lot of goalies. But you want to draw a head that is small enough so that you will be able to fit in three more on the top, at least like this. Okay, three, four more on the top, you must be able to fit in. And along the bottom also, you must be able to do this along. So let's try this here. Okay, one, this much measurement I have. That same measurement I'm going to take here. I'm going to draw one more head here. I want you to just draw this oval head here so that you can get this right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Make sure that the four heads you have drawn is roughly the same size. Clear? Now, by the end of this, you will see that you have drawn four heads which are of the same size, and there is a little gap also on the top because we are going to be adding the crown and everything. So you can, if maybe the head you made is too small or too big, you can take some time, you can correct it, because this requires you to be very precise here. I'm also using my pencil to just measure and see. You can pinch it like this. Okay. Center line is compulsory. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We are going to the very basics. We're going to the very basics. Now, done. Yes, I wanted to comment in S in the chat box if you have done this with me. Yes. Okay. Let's see.
Equal circle, equal
Equal circle. Yes. So here, if you're finding it difficult to make equal circles, you can use the pencil method, like I said, and you can pinch it and you can place it like this. Or if this is difficult, you can even use a scale. I don't recommend using a scale, but if necessary, you can use a scale and measure. But what you want to get is you want to get these four circles on a four oval or head shape one on top of another. Okay. I'm now moving on to the bottom part. Okay, I'm now moving on to the bottom part where here again I'm going to now draw the I'm going to now draw the legs here below. Again, just placing the circle here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's just roughly just place this along and you will have this here. Once you get this, you know that you have made 50% of the drawing. It will look like this. Spirals add up together. Done? Yes. I wanted to comment in yes in the chat box if you have done this. This becomes okay. This will want to learn it because the first time we are learning it, we are doing this. Otherwise, it will not be necessary. I am able to get only 3. You are able to get only 3. Okay. So if that is the case, I'll tell you. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. If that is the case, if you're finding it, if you're not able to get the exact number of this, don't worry. We will start from the top and we are going to build along and then you can